So I failed NCLEX. Good morning, good evening, and or good afternoon. It's your girl Kesi, and welcome back to my channel. So, excuse my hat. Just getting back in the house, y'all. It's cold. Been outside for 4 hours. Not doing parade stuff though. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop talking about that because I'm kind of irritated for the day. But I did want to come on here and talk about NCLEX. So I know y'all been seeing my videos leading up, or the first video I posted. I actually posted it today, but I guess I'll say Tuesday. The video I posted Tuesday about me taking the NCLEX, and then 2 days after that, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Wait, Tuesday? Thursday, Friday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So Thursday will be the day when I post my results. So by this time you see in this video, you see my results. I failed the NCLEX. It really sucks. Yeah, so y'all seen the sad part of that, and where I am right now, I'm in the acceptance part of grief. You know, I've moved on, I've started back studying, and I'm in it's been about, in 4 days, it'll be a month since I took the NCLEX. I'm in a good place right now. It's March 5th, it's Mardi Gras. I'm in a good place as far as NCLEX. Hold on, I am not glossy. Give me a second, honey. Okay, that's glossy enough for right now. But I did want to just come on here and talk to you guys about, you know, life after failing my NCLEX. It was a very depressing time. So I would consider mine a bit different, because I know a lot of people who fail their NCLEX usually either lose the job they had, you know, lined up for them, or they have to like or they didn't apply for work yet or whatever. But in my case, I was enrolled into a nurse residency program called Star In. So at my hospital, we started working January 14th, and it was before a whole bunch of us had taken our NCLEX. So it wasn't like I was the only one that wasn't an RN while we were working. And when I say we were working, we weren't working on patients. No, we were not working illegally. We were pretty much doing orientation and training and skills, and basically a nurse residency. But for MedSearch, it was a 6-week process. So the first week we did like EKG training. Second week we did a skills lab or skills checkoffs or whatever. So we did 5 days of all of that, and we did IVs and you know, chest tube dressings and central line dressings and Foley's, you know, just everything we learned in nursing school. We pretty much did a week of just practicing that. What did we do week 3? I think we did just basically just more training, more classroom work. We got certified in, oh, you know what, week 3, honestly, I can't remember the weeks, but I know 1 week we got certified in CPI. We got our ACLS, BLS stuff renewed, or BLS renewed, but ACLS added. I've never been certified in ACLS, so I'm certified in ACLS now. What else? We did a whole bunch of modules that we had to have due by a certain time, which would certify us online for certain things. We had to redo which I already did in school. We had to redo the stroke scale. So, so now I'm recertified in stroke, you know, the stroke scale stuff. So my residency pretty much just, you know, was a transition into our nursing position. And in my contract, there was a point where it said, you know, if you fail the NCLEX, don't worry about getting fired. We will give you a PCA or a patient care assistant position to work, you know, to maintain life until you pass your NCLEX. So that is what I'm doing right now. I am in a patient care assistant position. I did 2 weeks of orientation. So the first week of orientation, I did just pretty much classroom stuff, talking about, you know, the policies and the you know, HIPAA and everything you do when you get hired at a hospital, you know, the basic thing. I was in the room with managers and people who worked at, like, you know, kidney transplant. It wasn't just nurses in my orientation. It wasn't just new nurses in my orientation. And then the second week I did orientation to the floor with 2 preceptors. And now we're to today where it's Mardi Gras and I go back to work tomorrow for the first time by myself. You know, I don't think I'm gonna, no, because Rachel's gonna be there, but this is my first time, you know, working on the floor when I'm not training. So that's gonna be interesting. I just got my ATT on Thursday and I scheduled my test. Now, as far as failing the NCLEX, how did I feel? I was devastated. Y'all see the video. I mean, I was devastated. Like, I'm tired. You know, I've been in nursing school for 2.5 years, and within those 2.5 years, it makes a half because I had to do 1 extra semester of second semester again. Like, y'all were here for my journey. If you weren't here for my journey, then go to that button over there, the pop over there, just go over there, and, or is it over here? I don't know how you were seeing me right now. Wherever it pops over, click on that and watch, you know, those videos of when I had to repeat and all of that. But yeah, I didn't pass my test, so it's been a very hard time. You know, it's been a very, very difficult time just seeing the people I was with during the residency. You know, like, we all started together. We all were taking our tests around the same time, and just to be that one person in the cohort, the whole cohort, I believe, that did not pass, I mean, that's hard, because you see all your friends that you've made at work, you know, move on to the next level, and here you are, a failure. I mean, that's how I feel. I mean, not saying that I actually am a failure. Like, yes, I'm a failure at the NCLEX for the first time, but I don't want to necessarily call myself a failure, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's a discouraging time, and it sucks. But, you know, after working this position for a week and just praying and, you know, stepping back and seeing where I am in life, maybe it wasn't my time to be a nurse, you know, but maybe it wasn't my time. Maybe I needed a little bit more remediation as far as content to get a little bit more confident. Like, I don't know what the reasons are. But I know it was for a good reason. Maybe I didn't study enough, you know, maybe, honestly, I've been feeling this since I've been at the hospital working this PCA position, is that maybe it was needed for me, like, one of the original prayers that I prayed, you know, was to be the best nurse that I can be, and maybe work in a PCA position. Like, I've never worked as a tech. I've never worked in a hospital other than the clinicals I've done in school. So maybe, you know, me working in a PCA position before I become an RN will help me be a better RN, because that's like my ultimate prayer, to be the best RN I could be and be the RN that God wants me to be, you know. And maybe a RN that worked the PCA position that, you know, solely the job description of me is to care for the patient and to, you know, clean them up when they need it and change diapers and, you know, a tech's position. And that's what I'm doing. So maybe me as a nurse needed to go through that and see that part of work. You know, I've never worked that hard for such little pay, you know, like, I have so much more respect for techs and CNAs and PCAs. Not that I didn't have respect for them before. Like, I have family members that are CNAs, but I didn't realize how much work it was for so little pay. And it's crazy to me. It should be changed. It should be, you know, in some facilities it's just not enough money. But somewhere along the lines, it should be changed. Give me a second. Somebody asked me how people pronounce a word. People pronounce it salmon, but I say salmon. But when I'm around people who I know say salmon, I say salmon, so they won't, you know, correct me. But I say salmon. Do y'all say salmon? Random conversations I have with Sean. Yeah. So that's how I pretty much feel about where I am, as you know, after failing the NCLEX. It's a very humbling experience. It's been very hard. Like, I don't want to, you know, hint around any kind of feeling of, you know, jealousy or envy, or, you know, not being happy for my friends who have passed. You know, like, that is far from where I am. It's just hard. You know, anybody who will be in my position would, you know, agree with, it's just hard to see your classmates and your co-workers that you started work with and your, you know, your best friend. That's, you know, there are RNs right now. they study for the same test and pass, and you can't help but feel stupid and, you know, just inadequate, but you're not. And I had to get my mind off of that. Like the first day, the day I found out I felt the NCLEX was a Sunday, and then the next day I had to go into work and do simulation lab for a whole week. And that was the week I really wanted to be, you know, get my NCLEX out the way and all that stuff, because the next week, everything after simulation, you have to be a registered nurse for. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get it done before simulation, because I was already stressed about simulation. That was nerve-wracking anyway. But I wanted to go ahead and get it out the way. Not that I was trying to rush through it, but I just thought I had it. And going in that Monday to simulation, hearing everybody clapping and, you know, everybody sharing, yeah, I passed, and trying to avoid all conversations about whether I passed or not, or if I took my test or not, or, you know, it's just hard. I just be empathetic, you know, that's all you can do at this point. If you've never been in my shoes and you passed the first time, just be empathetic and see how would you feel, or how would you act, or how would you, you know, react when if you failed and everybody around you is rejoicing about passing. Like I'm genuinely happy for them. Like, go y'all. But this is my life, and my life sucks right now, and I'm gonna be bitter about it until I'm over it. I'm not gonna be bitter about the fact that you're succeeding and I'm not, but I'm gonna be bitter about the fact that I'm not succeeding right now. It has nothing to do with you, you know? So that's where I am with that as far as how I feel. How I've been managing, I've just been, you know, I pretty much call my mama every day around the same time, or she'll call me around the same time. That first day I went back to work after finding out that I failed was the worst, not the worst day, but it was like a very horrible day, because I was surrounded by a whole bunch of people who passed, and nobody knew I took it that weekend, and nobody knew I didn't pass. And so I was just to myself, and I would go to the corner and cry sometimes. Like, I don't think anybody noticed that I was crying that whole week. That whole week in simulation, like, we would be in simulation, and then like we'll take a break and I'll go to the bathroom or go to the side and just shed like a couple of tears, because I was just so, I don't know, it wasn't a good time those first couple of days. Then I got over it, because I'm like, okay, this is just where I am right now and I can't change it. And I called my mom whenever I was feeling that bad, and she talked me through it and allowed me to cry on the phone with her, because I don't want to be around people who are rejoicing all the time and just bringing my sadness. I don't want to ever be like a burden or an inconvenience to your happiness. Like, that is not my goal in life. I don't want you to be miserable because I'm miserable. Misery loves company, and I'm not that type of person, you know. I'm not gonna invite you to this party. So you know, as far as my coping, I like to just not really act like things are normal, but I want people to treat me like things are normal. Like, yeah, I didn't pass my test. Okay, that don't mean you can't invite me to this, and that. That don't mean you can't talk about you passing your test around me. Like, I didn't want people to feel timid about talking about their success around me. And I can read y'all one of the messages that I sent my group of co-workers about not passing my test. So what I said was, and I sent this 2 days after. No, I sent it on a Sunday that I found it out. I didn't realize I did that, but it was later on in the day. But I said, congrats to everybody. I'm so happy for y'all. Just so y'all know, I did not pass. Of course, it's a sad time, but with all due respect, if you guys would respect that, I prefer not to talk about it anymore. And if you want to console me or be there for me or comfort me, I just ask for you to just be normal and not treat me different or be hesitant to talk about the NCLEX or certain things with or around me. This is my journey, and it should not stop y'all from progressing, succeeding, or being joyful just because my outcome was different. I'm just going to meet y'all there a little later. Also, nothing bothers me more than people whispering, chatting, texting about something they could ask me themselves. So if anyone comes to you all asking about my status, send them my way, LOL. I appreciate y'all so much, and congrats again, Big Ballin' RNs, and good luck, Daisha, because that she had taken hers the next day, I think, or no, the next Saturday. So I mean, I wasn't bitter about or towards my friends, you know. I was very like genuinely happy for them, because I'm usually that person that cheer on everybody else, and then when it comes to me, I'm the most discouraged, or like I psych myself out, or I don't know, you know. Anybody towards themselves, we're always harder on ourselves than we are with other people. So, and I am the, you know, the master at that. So it was hard just seeing that, but I'm grateful for the process. I'm grateful for the 30 days or 45 days of extra study time. I'm grateful for friends who would donate me their study material. I'm grateful for friends who care to come over to my house. Nadeja, shout out to you. Come over to my house and comfort me and not let me be alone that day. You know, I'm just so grateful for people like that. And everybody's just been helping me get through it. Keep like encouraging me, my uncle and my cousins and my dad and my mama, and you know, everybody's just been very good to me, and I'm grateful. And I know y'all been rooting for me for so long, and I'm so sick of people praying that I get it next time, but maybe I'm just the person who's supposed to go the extra mile just so I can show y'all what it's like to go through it. Because, you know, I'm the realest out here. Now, I ain't gonna say it like that, not to be cocky. But, you know, I'm gonna tell it like it is. I'm gonna show you my good and my bad. And this is one of my bads. And it was a rough time going through it. But I'm getting through it. I'm learning a lot. I'm using Hearst right now. Hearst, you are the bomb. Aunt Marlene, I haven't made it to the other person yet, but Hearst review is something you should get if you struggle with content. And I think that was my main concern. Like, I can take a test when I understand it. And honestly, I don't think I understood the content well enough to take the NCLEX. So I wasn't ready. I told y'all in my last video that I wasn't ready. So I would want to feel comfortable and ready to take a content test, you know, even though the NCLEX is not solely content, but if you understand the content, you will understand the, you know, the process of reaching, you know, process of getting the right answer, process elimination, or process critical thinking, analyzing, you know, getting to the point where you can understand it so far that you can just think of the answer yourself, not just rely on the answer being there and then guessing that, oh yeah, that would look right. And I think that's how I took my NCLEX. And if you wonder what my NCLEX consisted of, it was 75 questions. It was mostly select all and apply. Didn't have any form. I'm sorry. Didn't have any, you know, doses calculations. And I mean, I can't tell you what was on it because of legal reasons, and also because I don't remember. But that's kind of how it's set up. And they give you scheduled breaks, and you can also just raise your hand to have an unscheduled break. And you have to wear like a badge around your neck, or just carry a badge with you so they'll know you were allowed to leave and you're allowed to come back. Your test pauses, but your time still goes on. So it does mark against your NCLEX time if you go to the bathroom on an unscheduled break. I didn't experience a scheduled break, so I'm not sure if it works like that, like they pause the time, but I doubt it. I think it still goes. As far as the process of getting in there, just make sure you got your ID. Make sure you got, well, I took my passport. If you're taking your passport, they give you a bag to put it in. For some reason, they put passports in bags, just in case you have words written down in your passport or something, or just so you can't copy down any of the tests in the booklet. They're very, you know, strategic about safety and confidentiality as far as the test. You take your your ID in, that's all you need. I got there like 40 minutes too early, so I sat in the car for about 20 minutes, and then I finally went upstairs, and it was like, you know, you're not the only one in there, and you are in a cubicle, and the NCLEX is probably not the only test that's going on in this testing center. So Don't think everybody's taking the same test as you. Maybe some people, you may hear them talk about it in the hallway or something, but 9 times out of 10, you most likely not taking the exact same test as everybody in the room, you know? So don't take your phone in, don't take any nothing. Take your Apple Watch off, wear a manual, one of those regular watches. Don't take anything electronic because they're gonna put it in the bag and you may forget, you know, being all boggled up from the test, you may forget to take it back to them and all of that to undo the bag. So just don't take no electronics. But if you do, they'll put it in a bag, and before you leave, make sure you give it back to them so they can open it and give you your stuff back. They pat you down every time, or I don't think they didn't pat me down. They just had me just like, they said, let me see all your pockets. So I think I wore basketball shorts. No, I wore scrubs. So I had a pocket on my leg. I have 2 pockets in the front, 2 pockets in the back. So I just pretty much showed them the pockets, and then you do your fingerprint and all of that. All of that is real. So you do your hand, and they do, did we do fingerprints or we just did hand? I think we just did the hand. You put your finger like in this thing that does this to your hand. And you got to do both hands twice. So you do that 4 times, and then you take a picture. My picture looks stupid. I look drunk. If I can find a picture, I'm gonna put it right here. I look so sleepy and drunk. Like, I didn't even look like that in my video, or did I? I knew I didn't look good, but y'all, I just wasn't having a good time. I was having pain in my stomach. I went to the ER afterwards. Like, it was just too much going on. Honestly, I'm just pray and fast up to the day of my NCLEX just to pray that I don't be sick the way I was, you know. Like, I had gastritis. Like, what the heck? Like, who gets gastritis today before they NCLEX and have to live through that through their NCLEX, bro? Me. I can't live my life simply. But yeah, that was my NCLEX experience. Yes, I did fail my NCLEX, but I am in the, you know, the stage in my life, or the stage of grief, where I've accepted it and I'm moving forward. I am praying to pass next time because I know this stuff, not because I'm just banking on God. You know, God gonna be there for me. He gonna bring back the stuff I know. This test, he ain't had nothing to bring back because I ain't know it. Honestly, I just don't think I knew it. But I got Hearst, I still got UWorld, and I got my Saunders book, and that's what I'm using. So I will be back to see y'all in a couple of weeks. Then we shall see an RN, hopefully. Keep me in your prayers, y'all. Pray for me like y'all did for when I was taking the Kesi. I told y'all I wasn't coming back until I passed, and I probably do the same thing here as far as vlogs and stuff. I'm gonna just take it off and just, you know, grind like I did for the Kesi, because I passed the Kesi because I grind and because I took this time off. So I hope y'all understand that. Thank you guys for being here. Be sure to talk to me in the comments and pray for me in the comments, and follow all my social media below, and I will see y'all next month in my next video. Bye.